Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made this quick, easy, yummy oxtail recipe. Let's get into it. Now first, I put the oxtail in a mixing bowl and I put some thyme inside that. My first seasoning is this oxtail seasoning from Grace, and I'm just going to sprinkle it generously onto the oxtail. I'm just going to spread it all over. All over. Now I'm moving on to my next seasoning, and this is Jugo Maggi seasoning. It's in a liquid form, so I'm going to give about a couple of drops in there. Make sure to limit it because there is a lot of sodium. My next one will be some soy sauce. So if we just get about a teaspoon of soy sauce in there, that's enough. We only have 5 pieces of oxtail, so we want to make sure that we're not over seasoning. Now I'm going to use our gravy master browning sauce, and currently I'm going to use 2 capfuls. We're actually going to use a little bit more later on, so we don't need to use all of it now, but this should be enough for the oxtail. Now our next seasoning should be some hot pepper powder. So we're just gonna use a little bit there. Use to your spice level. If you want it more spicy, then go ahead and add more. And we can't forget our ground black pepper. So we're going to sprinkle a bit of ground black pepper onto this. Now our next seasoning is going to be some adobo. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of adobo. If you notice, since I'm using different seasonings, I'm just using a little bit of everything. Little sprinkles of everything. Now here comes the time where we're going to be massaging the seasoning into the oxtail. So I'm just gonna roll it over in that little sauce that I've created, and I'm going to rub all the seasoning all over the oxtail. Just rub it in there, get into all the spots, get into all the nooks and crannies, and get it seasoned. Next, I'm going to add my green sauce to this. In order to preserve that natural flavor, I blended cilantro, rosemary, garlic, ginger, a little bit of onion, just to get that natural flavor. You can get all of this in seasoning form, but I prefer to use the natural flavors. So just gonna blend that and then mix that in there and keep mixing it up, massaging that natural flavor into the oxtail. Now, after mixing it up, I'm going to put in my veggies. These veggies consist of tomatoes, spring onion, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of red onion, and some green pepper. So I'm going to sprinkle that over, all over the oxtail. And then I'm going to just massage it in there. Make sure that the seasoning gets into the vegetables. This is what's going to help us create that sauce. So just massage all the seasoning into all the veggies. And although we've massaged the seasoning into the vegetables, we are going to season it just a little bit more to make sure that the flavors will be extremely pronounced in the vegetables. So what I'm going to do is take that Grace oxtail seasoning and sprinkle just a little bit over the veggies. Just a little bit over there. Make sure that they're well seasoned, and that's going to bring a pronounced flavor. So just keep massaging the seasoning and the vegetables all together in a combined yummy form. So after massaging it in there, you can leave it in the fridge for a day. Or if you're like me and you're getting ready to eat today, just gonna leave it there for a few minutes to soak in. You can do it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. It'll all be yummy. Now that I'm ready to cook, I'm just gonna give a few drops of the Maggi Jugo seasoning, just a few drops in there, and I'm going to continue to massage it, and then I'm going to just pull up the veggies, mix it up. At this point, put some oil in a pan and start heating it up, getting ready to fry your oxtails. Now that my oil is hot, I'm going to test it with one oxtail. It seems to be sizzling the way that I want, so I'm going to put the other pieces of oxtail in there. Have my second one. Going to put in a third one, the fourth, and the fifth. And I know these oxtails are huge compared to some typical oxtails. So just make sure that each side of the oxtail is touching the oil in the pan. And leave it to cook for about 10 minutes. You check on it, flip them around. Make sure that each side has been fried and braised. You want to get that brown color. The brown color shows you that it's going to be crispy yet yummy. So just pour some of the oil all over it. Make sure that every side is touched. So now that it looks brown to my liking, I'm going to pour about 4 cups of water into this. Now, sometimes people use beef broth or different kinds of broth, but to control the sodium level, you can create your own broth by pouring water into this mixture because it's already seasoned. So after 30 minutes, we're going to open up our oxtail, make sure that it's cooking and steaming and braising in the way that we want it to. This looks to my liking. As I mentioned before, the water has turned the solution into a good braised stock. Now it is time to add our seasoned veggies. We are going to mix the veggies in there, mix it up, and then we're going to cover it and let it cook for about an hour because we want it to be extremely tender. Just add a little bit of water with the seasoning in there. Just mix, 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 cover, let it cook for about an hour. You want to make sure that the oxtail is extremely tender, especially when the oxtail has thick bone, such as this one. Now, before I covered it, I just added about a cap full of the browning sauce to give it a more pronounced color. Now, after cooking, this is my final masterpiece. I'm just gonna add a little bit of cilantro to the top to keep that sharp flavor. And this is your yummy oxtail sauce. It's tender, it's delicious. You can eat it with some rice and peas, maybe some potatoes. You can never go wrong with some yummy oxtail. Thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe for more food.